Hello, America, and Merry Christmas. My name is Jake,
My name is Skylar.
and welcome to our season finale of Sports Desk
The last episode
of the season.
of the season.
You know what I'm most thankful for, Skylar?
Sports Desk. What are you most thankful for, Jacob?
I was gonna say Sports Desk,
I'm a genius.
so I feel like
I
you stole
knew
my
it.
thunder. What are you most thankful for? Are you also Sports Desk?
No, I'm thankful for the Lord.
You know what I'm actually most thankful for is the fact that we don't have to do this show alone.
Now we have each other.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Skylar. We tonight, in America tonight, we have a special guest with us.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Are you kidding? We have a very special guest tonight, America, and her name is Izzy Schmenk, and she's gonna be with us in just a few seconds.
I know her.
Yes, we both do. Izzy's a good friend of ours, and we begged her to be on the show with us because what a better way to cap off a mediocre season than having a fantastic guest star to help boost ratings.
Exactly. And we begged and we begged, and she very reluctantly gave in to us.
She said yes. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you, Izzy Schmenk. Izzy, welcome to Sports Desk.
Hello, Skylar. I can't believe you forgot about me.
Yeah, it just happens to the best of us.
You
And
know,
me.
Skylar refused to dress up tonight for our Thanksgiving special because he has no Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy with yourself. Izzy, we're very happy to have you on the show. Izzy even dressed up for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, she's really just feeling it.
So, Izzy, we have tons of great content we want to share with you today. We want to ask your questions to you on a lot of different things, and we're really excited you're here, so I say we should get rolling.
I say, let's do it.
Oh, we already have a comment. I'm thankful for 7 dislikes on your video. JK, but I love your streams. Missed you boys. Jonathan.
The man is finally out of quarantine
Is
for
he?
the third time.
Yes.
So that's big news. Maybe we can go get our suits for the wedding that we have upcoming.
Yeah, we have to be in a wedding soon, so let's get those suits. I say we should start off this week's episode talking about some football.
Talking about some football. Izzy, how does that sound to you?
I love football.
I hear that.
Let's get it, football. Skylar, start us off.
All right, first game of the week I would love to talk about is I feel going to be a great matchup. It is between Arizona and they're going to be at Seattle. Seattle's kind of been on the downflunk, if that's even a word, but I'm making it up now. They've been on a downward,
Can you just say an actual word?
a downhill spiral. Is that a word?
Downward spiral.
A downward spiral.
This is what I do with every week.
Yeah, sorry, dyslexia in the brain.
That's not even
Um,
dyslexia.
And yeah, it's just one game that I'd like to focus on. Russell Wilson's kind of been struggling these last few games, playing very uncharacteristic like, and throwing a lot of picks, which is not him. And he's playing up against a hot Arizona team. So,
Good pun, Arizona.
Izzy, what are your thoughts on that game? I mean, I know you're very well rehearsed in the NFL world. Let's hear it. Arizona and Seattle.
Arizona and Seattle. Yeah, I really was pulling for Arizona just because I love the mountains. The mountains are really pretty.
I hear the mountains have a lot to do with how well the football team plays.
That's, oh gosh.
I've never been to Seattle. Also, not sure why. Okay, actually, this is a legitimate question. How come it was
Okay.
Seattle? How come it's a city versus a whole state? Answer me.
Well, there's still the same amount of players on each team.
I don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
I think it's because Arizona, they play in Glendale, which is near Phoenix, so it's essentially in a city.
Well, yeah, I would think so. I'm just,
I-
wondering why they're not like
You know,
Washington.
yeah, and that is a very great question. Izzy, maybe our good buddy Scott, the analyst, is on the web
Or my dad,
searching it up for us.
since I think he's watching. Dad.
But yeah, Jake, what do you think about Arizona Seattle game?
Well, I like Arizona in this game only because they were going to ride that momentum after that game-winning catch last week against Buffalo, which Izzy, I'm sure you saw, which was, it was absolutely incredible. And like you said, Seattle's been struggling a little bit. So even though it's on the road at Seattle, not having fans in the stadium, I think Arizona can pull away with this one. And I like how Kyler Murray's playing, DeAndre Hopkins at receiver, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald. They got the weapons to match up with Seattle's poor pass defense.
True. And their defense as a whole is pretty poor.
Yes.
Next game I would like to talk about is Tennessee and Baltimore. I know Baltimore's kind of fallen off the map a little bit this year. They were off to such a hot start last year, and then this year they're kind of floundering, which is, I don't know. I don't know if it's to be expected. I wouldn't say it was, but Jake and I both have Tennessee winning that game. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I have Tennessee winning this game because, like you said, Baltimore's been struggling, and they didn't look that impressive in their loss against New England this past week. So I'm going to take Tennessee. I think with Derrick Henry at running back, that's a good matchup for him. Izzy, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this game. We got Tennessee at Baltimore. Do you think Baltimore being at home is going to play into a home field advantage for them, even though there's no fans?
Yeah, I think so. I think they will. I think there's just something about being on your home turf that really just makes all the difference, you know?
Yep.
So you think Baltimore is going to come away with the win?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
All right.
I think that's a very astute analysis that you've just given. Thank you very much for your insight there.
Yeah.
Next game on the list, New Orleans at Atlanta at New Orleans, rather. Jake and I both picked New Orleans. However, New Orleans is going to be down Drew Brees, who broke some ribs in this last game and punctured a lung.
And potentially Alvin Kamara, who's questionable, which really kills my fantasy.
So that's going to be
Fancy team.
something to watch. Atlanta is kind of
Just want to specify. I'm sorry.
Atlanta's been kind of obsolete this year. They've been one of the bottom tier teams. However, without Breeze and with Kamara questionable and Michael Thomas not really putting up too much numbers this year yet, only playing one game back, it has yet to be seen. Like, Atlanta has some high hopes for this next game. So
Yeah, Izzy, I'm interested to hear who you have in this game. Atlanta at New Orleans, a divisional game. They're going to be coming out fighting. So who do you take in this game?
Yeah, I'm thinking New Orleans is going to come out on top here. Just everything you've been saying, total agreement with. Yeah, that's kind of my take.
Yeah, I think that's just what you said. Everything really encapsulates what we're thinking. So that was really good, really nice.
yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
Really.
Any other games this week you want to touch up on?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about Green Bay and Indianapolis.
Christian?
This one's for Christian.
Christian.
I do think that this game is going to be pretty close. However, Green Bay's defense has kind of been struggling lately, as has their offense. I mean, they struggled to get things going against the Jaguars this last week, and it was a pretty ugly game that really came down to the wire.
It really did.
And Indianapolis has had their stunts of inconsistency. So we'll just kind of wait and see how it goes. Jake and I both have Indianapolis winning that game. Jake, explain yourself.
I don't like Green Bay. Done.
All right, Izzy, what do you think?
I think that's just a really bad analysis, honestly. I think Green Bay's going to come on top. And I say that because I'm a Green Bay fan. That's why.
Okay, so there's bias here. Can we please be professional?
That makes sense, Izzy. I cannot blame you because Jake and I also picked the Vikings to beat Dallas this week.
Exactly.
Who also, Dallas might be getting Andy Dalton back for this week instead of playing with Ben DiNucci for their starting quarterback. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I know the Vikings haven't had much film on Andy Dalton, but
we have a few new comments from our very own Jonathan Wardell. First off, says, Jake, I love your medieval costume. First off, it's a pilgrim costume. So, I mean, that's kind of medieval times, 1620s.
No, it's not.
Isn't medieval? No, I'm thinking Middle Ages. Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
1600s? That's kind of like around the same time. It's not too far off.
No.
Okay, maybe I'm way off. I think I am. So disregard that. And then Jonathan also says, if only Izzy chose the sports analyst path instead of boring marketing, sad face. Izzy, you're a marketing major. Do you ever wish you were a sports analyst?
Every day.
I think you have a bright future in a career.
Every day I walk into class and I think, why did I pick this as a major? But fortunately, as a marketing major, there's a lot of doors that are open to you. And I think that sports analyst might still be in my future, but we'll see. God only knows what the future has in store. So.
Right, and I ask that if you do make it big, do not forget about us who opened one of the doors for you for your potential career.
Absolutely. I would never.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. We're going to move on to some upcoming football Thanksgiving games because, as we all know, Thanksgiving is just over a week away, which the viewers would have a better time understanding if my co-anchor had dressed up accordingly. But It's fine. I'm over it.
Thanksgiving has been one of my favorite holidays throughout my entire life. I mean, there's a lot of food to eat, and so that's basically the only reason.
Yeah.
That and like you get around with your entire family, and my family's massive. And so like it's something that we definitely like cherish, all of us. And another thing we love doing is watching those Thursday football games on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. And we got some great matchups for you this year. Izzy, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on these. Which game you're most excited for? We have Houston at Detroit. We have Washington at Dallas and Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Do you have one that stands out to you and why?
Please.
Do you want me to repeat the games?
Please.
Houston at Detroit, Washington at Dallas, Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Well, here's the deal. Washington at Dallas.
Okay.
The climate change is going to be so different. Like, they're going to have to adapt and adjust, and I really think that Washington is going to struggle a bit there. So
Okay.
that's what I'm really excited for. I'm curious to see how they handle that. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's very good. The stadium is indoors. But no, I agree. I agree because actually indoors in Texas is different than indoors in Washington, D.C. Yes. Yes. And then so a little history about the Thanksgiving football games, because as we know, that's kind of a tradition that a lot of families do. But a lot of people don't know actually how far back it goes. So Wikipedia informed me that there have been Thanksgiving Day games played since 1920, which is 100 years ago for those of you who are interested in math. And then Detroit, they're one of the games playing, as I mentioned. They've actually hosted games since 1934. And Dallas has hosted games since 1966. So those are kind of those two stalwart games. And then a third game has been played since 2006. Hence why we get that Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Detroit, having played 80 games all time on Thanksgiving, has only won 37 of them. Dallas is 31, 20, and 1. And just for a little frame of reference for our... I heard something in my headphone.
I didn't hear anything.
I don't know if it said power low or something. Okay, I'll roll with it. For a little frame of reference,
Yikes.
Green Bay's all-time record on Thanksgiving is 14, 20, and 2. Minnesota's is 6 and 2, so they have a winning record. I know it's a smaller sample size, but let that sink in. That's all.
Where did Izzy go?
Oh, I should probably get her back.
Thank you.
Sorry, because that's what the people want to see is Izzy. That's why they're here.
Exactly.
So Minnesota's 6 and 2, Green Bay 14, 20. Izzy, has that made you think about maybe changing teams to cheer for based on those stats provided?
I mean, to my knowledge, you went to school in Minnesota for quite some time.
That was high school, and as everyone knows, it's not the peak of your life.
Can you hear her?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yes, you'll have to... I can't. I think my thing died.
Okay.
Can she hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear Jake. Yeah.
It's the mic.
Oh, yeah. Here at Sports Desk, we learn to adjust on the fly. Can you talk, Izzy?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Jack, for that.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
That actually works better because pilgrims weren't advanced enough to know cordless.
Yeah. I'm glad you're staying in character.
Yes.
No, I was just going to say that, yes, it's true. I went to school in Minnesota for a while, but that was in high school. And everyone knows high school is not the peak of your life. So,
Well, I peaked in high school.
So no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not changing who I cheer for. I will remain a Packers fan.
Okay.
I hate to disappoint, but that's just how it's going to be.
Well, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion.
No.
All right, we have a comment from Tim Nelson who asked, may I ask why there's a stuffed bear with a banana on tonight's show?
Well,
Care to inform, Skylar?
I'm just going to do some educating here real quick. It's a gorilla.
It's a gorilla!
And he has a banana as well. And this is our good buddy Bongo, who was picked up off of the streets in La Crosse on my way to Mexico. And so he is a friend that is near and dear to my heart, and he's also part of the Sports Desk family, and we welcome him with open arms.
Without context, that description of travel is so weird. With La Crosse on the way to Mexico. Oh, crazy stuff.
that's how it comes out.
Yeah. It's been a crazy day in the basketball world.
It has.
Today is the NBA draft. And some big names were taken in the first couple of picks.
Minnesota did not decide to go ahead and trade away their first pick. However, they decided to keep it and ended up picking Anthony Edwards. And we got another comment.
Tim says that barely looks like a gorilla. He spelled barely like the word bear.
Oh, clever man.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tim knows his stuff. Yeah, so Anthony Edwards out of Georgia. He's 19 years old, so 2 years younger than us, which makes me feel really successful about my life. He was the number 1 overall pick in tonight's draft. Number 2 to the Golden State Warriors was James Wiseman, who has only played 3 collegiate games in his career and then had to sit out due to academic ineligibility. Izzy, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think a player, even though he might be super talented, deserves to be that high of a draft pick despite such limited experience in collegiate games?
Absolutely not. What does he know yet?
And it's ironic because his last name is Wise Man.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Interesting. And number 3 was kind of a big name, Skylar.
Big name. A lot of projections where this guy was going to go number 1. However, that's not what Minnesota decided to choose. This was LaMelo Ball, who ended up falling to number 3. And he is a big name. He's just kind of one of those hot hands, but didn't really bring defense to the table at all. He was kind of a smaller, skinnier guy. And the T-Wolves decided they needed a little bit bulkier of an individual. So
yeah, LaMelo Ball, definitely one of those bigger names. Younger brother of Pelicans point guard Lonzo Ball. He gets drafted. Melo does, that is, number 3 to the Charlotte Hornets. And the draft right now is currently still going on as we speak. And I want to just go back to some of the big NBA trades that happened. Yesterday was kind of a big day in the basketball world.
That is true. Izzy, would you say you're a big NBA fan at all by any means?
Yeah. I would say I'm a huge fan.
Okay.
That's good news. All right.
Yeah.
Trades?
Yeah, so there were some big NBA trades Monday and yesterday. Izzy, I want to get your thoughts on some of these and tell me which team you think won the deal. Chris Paul, a talented point guard, was traded from Oklahoma City Thunder to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for 4 players and a first-round pick in the 2022 draft. Do you think it's worth giving up that many players for one player?
Yeah, I do. To my knowledge, the Phoenix Suns aren't that good.
You're correct. They're not that great, but they're a team on the rise.
So I don't think it really matters that much if they're trading out like 4 mediocre players for an all-star. So
do you think that addition of a good veteran presence like Chris Paul can maybe help a young team like Phoenix get to that next level?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
But that was not the only big trade of the night.
Oh, yes. Drew Holiday trade. I'm sorry, I got caught up with
you're fine. I wrote it kind of funky. Oh, chords.
Oh,
my hat.
Oh, you freaking pilgrim.
Oh, hey.
All
Teach me
right.
how to make
so
chord.
Drew Holiday is going to the Bucks, and he's quite a pretty big name. And the Bucks are getting rid of Hill as well as
Eric Bledsoe.
And
about 5 or 6 draft picks. This trade affects the Bucks through 2027.
Yeah, it's a massive trade. It's pretty hefty. They're giving up a lot, but they're gaining such a great player in Drew Holiday, and now they do have a pretty stacked offense, and hopefully some more consistent play out of like different players that are not just Giannis.
Yeah, and so Izzy, to my knowledge, being a Packers fan, are you also a Milwaukee Bucks fan for your favorite NBA team?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
So as a Bucks fan, do you like this trade, or do you feel like the Bucks gave up too much?
I think they gave up a little too much, to be honest.
I agree.
They had a pretty solid setup, and who knows what's going to happen after this.
Exactly. No one can predict the future, that's for sure.
No, nobody.
Jonathan commented regarding the Chris Paul trade, saying, "Not Chris Paul. He seems to be pretty toxic and selfish. I know he does have a history of a little bit of an attitude, but who's to say? Maybe he'll enjoy his time in Phoenix."
I think it would be humbling.
Amongst the mountains. Exactly. All right, Izzy. To my knowledge, you are participating next semester in a Phi Ed class known as golf. Do you care to explain a little bit about why you chose golf as a class? And that's going to kind of be our segue to our next segment about golf.
Well, I just have this passion for golf.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I just don't have the time really to spend on being on the golf team. So I thought the next best thing is to be in the golf class. It helps that I know the instructor of the class. So that's also, I would say, a component here. But I would say definitely, predominantly, it's because of my deep, undying love for golf.
Okay. That's interesting that you mentioned your connection with the golf coach. I've heard he's on the hot seat, been on there for quite some time now. Do you think a player like yourself, if you excel a lot in this class, you think he might recruit you to join the program and bolster the status of WLC golf?
Yes, I think he might recruit me on the men's golf team. I think I would be recruited there for sure. But yeah,
Okay.
I think there's a solid chance. I mean, I've got a good chance to showcase my skills, to, show what I'm made of, and I think I have a pretty solid chance here.
Do you consider yourself better at driving or putting? Hitting it really far or from a shorter?
I know. I'd think about it because I'm just super good at both.
Okay.
Putting, I think,
Okay.
is my strong suit.
Interesting.
But again, like I said, I'm pretty solid with both of them.
So it is to my knowledge that your brother is on the golf team, correct?
That is correct.
Who is the better player between the two of you?
Well, see, it's pretty neck and neck there, honestly. But I'd say he comes out on top. He's a little bit better than I am. He's had that extra experience of being on the team. He goes regularly. He works at a golf course, which I think is helpful.
Oh, so he does have
however,
the advantage there and in height.
Well, the height thing doesn't really matter in golf, so I wish you hadn't brought that up. But yes, I would say I'm right neck and neck with him.
Do you ever find it difficult on a hole, maybe with a very large par, it's like 500 yards away? Do you ever find yourself struggling to look over those hills to see where the actual flag is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I do. But I'm really good at like analyzing the slopes and everything. So I just, I use other factors to really play into my play.
Well, that's good. I feel like you're really being able to utilize that marketing major on the course and apply what you've learned to the sports world. So that's really good.
Yeah.
The reason I brought up golf to you, Izzy, is because recently on Monday, I believe the Masters, one of the world's biggest golf competitions, just concluded. And there were some pretty big names who didn't do nearly as well as maybe anticipated. Most notably, Tiger Woods, who scored a -1 and tied for 38th place. Now, what do you think of a player of his caliber in his history scoring so low in the rankings?
Well, it's upsetting. He's got a lot of fans. It's kind of hard to see, one of your heroes not really reach his potential. However, I think that does give a lot of hope to some of the younger players maybe who are trying to enter the game and who have now had an opportunity to kind of come out on top because, he's been in the game for a while. And while we all love him to death, it's given some other players a chance to kind of have their time.
Players such as yourself, maybe?
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Yeah. For information's sake, the winner of the Masters this year was United States' Dustin Johnson, scoring a -20 and winning by, I believe, 5 strokes. The second place winners scored -15. So congratulations to Dustin. And Izzy, we look forward to potentially seeing you out on the course during the Masters someday.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to our next segment, a quiz. Take this one away, buddy.
Izzy, we really felt like kind of testing your knowledge when it comes to like the entire realm of sports. So question number 1. How many points is a touchdown?
6.
Oh,
Wow.
Smart
I'm
cookie.
impressed. Okay, she's got 1 point. You have to score at least 10.
For what?
it's a 10-point quiz. A grand slam is worth how many points in
Runs.
baseball?
I misread it.
2,
You're halfway there.
4.
A grand slam is when the bases are loaded.
Bases are loaded.
Yep. And then a
Yeah,
home run
okay.
is hit, so 4 runs.
Okay. That makes logical sense. I was not thinking straight.
All
Okay.
right. Now here,
She's 1 out of 2.
now here's a really tough question. Who won the Stanley Cup in 1972?
I think you know what we're asking here.
Who won?
Who won the Stanley Cup in 1972?
This is hockey.
Stanley?
No, Stanley did not win.
Who won his cup?
Jordan.
It's a team.
Man, I don't know.
You get 2 more tries.
I just know I don't know any hockey teams.
Well, that definitely
I know
plays
the-
into
I
this
know
answer.
I know the Minnesota Wild. That's about what I know.
Okay,
Very good guess.
but wrong.
Is the Boston Bruins.
The Boston Bruins, similar to Chicago.
Yeah, should have got that one.
Oh, we have a quick comment here fitting for this question. Jonathan says, I would answer it, but I wouldn't want to ruin it for Izzy. Oh my goodness, Jonathan. Oh. Next question.
All right, Izzy. This one is also quite a tough one. Tom Brady currently plays for what NBA team?
Not playing the NBA.
Excellent. Oh, you got it. Hey. All right, you're 2 for 4. Keep riding this hot streak of 1.
2. Oh, it's a
You
streak of
didn't get the Boston Bruins one, Izzy. You weren't even close. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, Izzy. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
What is the max number of points a basketball team can score in one possession?
Nine.
Divide that by 2, and then
Is it-
subtract again.
It's not
In one
3.
possession.
Oh, 3.
Close.
4.
Achoo! Yes,
4.
it's 4. Correct. But you didn't, you're not going to count it.
Yes, they do have 4-point plays.
Care to explain?
When there is a shooter that's shooting a 3-point attempt and they get fouled,
Oh.
they make the shot. They also get an and one opportunity. So they're at the free throw line, shoot, make their bucket. That's a 4-point play.
Yep. A
That makes
rare
sense?
occurrence. Yep, a rare occurrence. So I really don't blame you for not getting that one. That's a tough one to get for sure.
Kind of a trick question.
Yeah. Next question, Izzy. We talked about this recently, so I really think you're gonna get this one. Who was the number 1 pick in the 2020 NBA draft?
I already forgot.
Would you like to give us to list off the 3 names, and you tell us
He's-
which one was number
he's-
1?
He's the really young guy, right?
They're all really young.
Okay.
Yes, this one I did specifically talk about age.
Okay. I'd like a selection, please.
So it's either James Wiseman, Anthony
That's
Edwards.
him. It's James Wiseman.
Can I list off the other name, please?
No.
Are you confident? Because you are wrong. All right, you now have 2 choices. It is LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, or not LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards.
Anthony.
Yep, you're right. That's all I can do. I can't put up with that. Kidding.
All right. Next question.
A few more. You got this.
What is Jake's favorite color?
A true testament to our friendship.
There's a follow-up question to this one, too.
It's
Red.
why. Just kidding.
Red?
Yeah.
You're pretty close.
I'll give you a quarter point.
Because Jake doesn't even know his own favorite color.
It's dark blue / maroon. Now, what is Skylar's favorite color? This is just one color.
Gray.
Because he's so dark and depressing?
It's purple.
Because he's a
Is it
king.
actually? It's purple.
Yeah, it is.
It's purple. You're going to get this one next. Or you're going to get this next one.
What is a hole-in-one?
It's when you get a hole in one. I don't really know. That's like self-explanatory. You hit, it's golf. You hit the ball, and then it just goes right in.
She got us there.
Nice.
That was, and I really wouldn't expect anything different from someone who's a golf expert. So we kind of threw you a softball there.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
True. All right. Now, what is the safety in football?
Now, this could be a trick question.
American football.
That doesn't really help.
Well, I mean, it's not soccer. It's a penalty. Or it doesn't exist.
Neither of those are correct.
I thought it existed, but then you said it. Okay. It's a safety is. I don't know.
So there are actually two answers you could give on this one. You could say it's a position on defense, or you could say it's when a team gets tackled in their own end zone, and the defense gets 2 points for their team, and they get the ball back.
Ugh.
Yeah, not a situation you want your team to be in.
No.
However, the Vikings did it like 3 times in a row.
Yes, it was not good. We lost all those games.
Yeah.
Correlation, yes. 2 more questions, Izzy. You got this.
All right, Izzy, what is our gorilla's name?
You said it earlier. Isn't it like bongo or something?
Yes! It's Bongo! Oh, Izzy.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. This one's all you.
Last question of the evening for you on this quiz.
You've got this, Izzy.
And this one is probably the most important question.
And the hardest. Not gonna lie.
What is your karaoke go-to?
Okay, well, depends on the vibe. I would say typically something easy to sing.
Just go out for you too.
Yeah. Izzy, we briefly lost you, so we did not hear your explanation.
Did Jake lose it too?
I lost it.
Oh.
But we'll be getting you back in just a split second or longer, but it'll be soon. So fear not.
You can keep everyone entertained by telling us all about your involvements in choir.
How can we do that if we can't hear her?
Well, she can still talk.
She can still talk.
Maybe. Actually, no. She can't.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Try it now, Izzy.
So we're having a real heyday.
No. I can see you mouthing the words, though.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Jack knows what we need to do. I don't want you to see your face. Don't worry, Izzy, it'll be just a few minutes. So, while we wait for the sound to be fixed, we have yet a few more things we're going to talk to Izzy about that we're really excited about. So, stay tuned. We're not done yet, but...
Izzy, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes! I heard you.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Can you hear her now?
Yeah,
Can you
how about
talk
now?
again?
Skylar, can you hear me?
I thought this headphone died, which is why.
No, it didn't.
John.
How about now?
Can you try talking, Izzy?
Jake, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello. Hello. Skylar, can you?
Can you hear her,
Nope.
Skylar?
No.
He
I can
can't.
tell by the way he didn't reply to me.
Do you want to use my headphone and we can just
So
link?
you want to just share?
We can link.
Oh.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm in a bit of
Okay,
a
that's
pickle.
good.
So, Izzy, as we were saying, your favorite karaoke song depends on the mood.
It does. I would say my typical go-to is probably something Disney, something maybe from a movie, something that's pretty well known. It really depends on the crowd though. 'Cause then you've got some maybe an older crowd who isn't as familiar. Um, uh, One Direction is always a good go-to. Gets people really hyped up for that. I'd say something in there. I do have a karaoke playlist, just in case the opportunity should arise. I have a selection. I really can't pinpoint one, but I do have a pretty extensive list.
Okay.
Okay.
Skylar, what's your karaoke go-to song?
Probably Electric Love.
That's a great song.
I don't even know who it's by. I don't know the.
Borns, I believe.
Borns, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I just looked that up today, actually.
they're like just a one-hit wonder kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that song is just like such a feel-good song. Fun to sing, fun to listen to. It's just a great song. So
Yeah.
Jake, what's yours?
Old Lang Syne in the key of B flat.
The key of B.
Is it B or B flat?
It's B.
I could have sworn it was B flat.
No.
I think I might have to sing it after this show to prove that I'm right. Kidding. I'm probably wrong. Now, Izzy, our next segment, I want to ask you a question about some of your hobbies that you like to do. To my knowledge, you are big into knitting.
That's incorrect. No,
Okay.
I crochet. I don't knit.
Okay. Do you care to talk a little bit about your crocheting hobby, some of the things that you've made, and maybe a current project you're working on?
Sure. So I guess I got into it about a couple years ago. Just picked it up. Taught myself various skills or whatnot. I've made a hat. I've made a blanket, which I don't have with me, unfortunately. I've given the blanket away as a gift, and the hat is not with me at the moment. I made a lot of things along the way, but I'm in the process of. I have made a. It's not a. This isn't crocheting, but it's kind of hand crocheting, so you don't actually use the tool like most things. I've made a pillow.
Oh, cool. Kind of looks like a brain.
Kind of, yeah. I've made them in a couple different colors. Just kind of fun. Nothing fancy, just kind of fun. I will say I don't have a lot of that here with me to show anybody, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. I know quite a few people who've gotten into it as well, and it's a good way to pass the time.
Yeah, I feel it almost sounds like a very calming activity, something you can just kind of relax
It is.
with, like some TV on and stuff.
So does
Yeah.
Crocheting go hand in hand with like sewing at all, or like does one kind of complement the other?
They're pretty different, I would say. But I think it's the technique, not the techniques, but if you're into one, it's really easy to get into the other one, I guess.
Okay.
It's through crocheting that I thought, hey, I want to try sewing a bit. And I actually do have some stuff here with me. I did, well, first of all, I make a lot of masks. I've made probably over 50 masks at this point that I've given people, that I've sold, things like that. I took an old shirt that I got at a garage sale, and I made a dress out of it. Just recently, I had a sweater that I cropped, made it a lot shorter. Just did that recently. What else have I done?
I don't know.
No, I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
What are the chances you can sew us some Sports Desk face masks?
Or shirts.
I could actually do that if I had. Yeah, we could figure something out. I could probably do that.
That
Or
would
a
be so
dress.
fun, really.
Yeah. That'd be pretty sweet.
I feel like the mask is probably the better of the easier of the two options. But we can work something out, and maybe by next semester you'll have something else to wear.
Yeah, I will say Bongo has been in the nude for most of the episodes, and he is also craving a shirt or something to wear.
Yeah.
That might be best, yeah.
A loincloth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Izzy, that sounds very cool that you've got that hobby, and it's really great that you're able to not do it just for your own personal enjoyment, but also maybe give to other people, like with the masks that you're making and stuff. Especially during these times, that's very handy to have. So I'm sure people are very appreciative of it, and that's really great that you can do that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to mail out, I think, about 23 of them over the summer to different people. So
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Speaking of hobbies and like hanging out, Jake and I have a little bit of a hobby where we like to go to the football fields.
I was dreading this segment.
And so just the other day, Jake and I decided to venture off into the fields. It was a cool day. It was a little bit windy.
It was very windy.
And it's a perfect day for going out to kick some footballs. As some of you guys know, I'm the punter on the football team. It's a hoot and a half of a time, and Jake will go out and help him shag balls for me. And yeah, so I recently was trying to record to see like my form and everything, and I caught a glimpse of something glorious on the camera, and I just wanted to share that with everyone tonight. So
Yeah. And before we play this video, I just want to say viewer discretion is advised. It is kind of gruesome. And I just want to also point out that before this day, I had a really great history of being consistent, catching the balls. I believe the wind played a factor. And it was just, it was a day of shaking off the rust. So that's really all I'm going to say. We're going to go ahead and play the video, and we'll see what you guys think. But yeah, this was...
So there's a kick. You can see Jake running it down. Wow. Athleticism in its purest form.
I'm a Puritan.
Yes, I am a Puritan. Now, not only does Skylar like to kick balls, but he likes to kick people in the balls. So,
Balls.
I gotta say, it's a really wholesome experience all around. And
I will say
10 out of 10 would recommend it.
that was probably my athletic peak. Oh, that was so rough. Yeah, and that was part of that was kind of an off day in a new workout program that Skylar and I are partaking in, that Skylar was so kind to make. And today was our off day of lifting, so we went for a nice run, and that was pretty rough.
That was nice.
But yeah, we like to go out, especially now with limited days of nice weather, to go to the fields and punt, shag, play catch, do whatever. And I'm always happy to shag whenever I catch it. That's the key. Izzy, in your extensive history of sports, what is your favorite position to play in football? Do you like quarterback? Do you like punt returner? Do you like kicking? What do you prefer?
Kicking for sure.
Good choice.
Yeah, kicking is fun.
You know, I know it's kind of stereotypical, you know, the girl's a kicker, but yeah, no, I enjoy it. I think I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to have you come out to the fields with us sometime, and we can do a little friendly competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Jonathan says, you guys take off days? Every day is a quarantine day. No breaks. You know, I'm really missing Scott in the comment section tonight.
Yeah, you know, every day is a quarantine day for Jonathan, but for the rest of us, we like to live a little.
Yeah, some of us don't like to be cooped up in our rooms all the time. Staring at our cats.
Izzy, have you been quarantined yet?
I have not yet, but I'm hoping it'll stay that way, but we shall see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's not jinx that for her, hopefully. Yeah. Now, Izzy, I know that you love animals, and I know there's those hot debates, you know, dogs or cats. So if you had to pick between one, would you say you're more of a cat person, dog person, and why?
Cats, no question. No question, cats. They're so much more low maintenance. You know, they don't smell unless you don't take care of them, you know, because dogs just have dog breath, which, don't get me wrong, dogs are cute. I would personally get a dog someday. But there is that factor, and I think that cats are lacking that, which is definitely a plus. Plus, they're just, you know, they're smaller, generally speaking.
Not tigers.
They're not. Well, there's no such thing as a house tiger, or if there is, that's illegal.
Ask Joe Exotic.
I thought you were going to say there's no such thing as a tiger.
No, tigers exist. But, yeah, cats, you know, you can train them to do the same thing as dogs, too. Like, I've seen cats that have been trained to use the toilet, which is kind of weird. But, you know, they take care of themselves. They groom themselves. You don't got to give them baths or wash them. They're very, very clean animals. You can leave them at home for if you need to leave for a weekend. You know, give them some food, give them some water. Maybe leave this out for them so they're good and come back and they're fine. With the dog, you got to find a sitter. You got to find them a place to stay. Take with you. You're just a lot more low maintenance, and you get all the love that you get from a dog.
Now, we had a comment earlier asking if this was a bear on our desk, but it was so clearly a gorilla. If you had to pick, would you rather have a pet bear or a pet gorilla?
Um, I assuming the bear doesn't like try to kill me someday.
It's
A bear.
domesticated.
Oh, well, then a bear. I mean, I think bears can be cute, but they also get really big. So I'm a little unsure, but I would say bear.
You
I
know,
think
if
they're
you
cute.
had a koala bear, but then a full-grown gorilla, the bear would be smaller.
True, koala bear would love one of those.
All right, we have another comment from and it says, Charlie. I don't know who that is, but it must be someone who knows of Izzy's dog or cat.
Offended for
I'm
my
so
cat.
sorry. That was a slip of the tongue.
My
And then
cat's name is Charlie. Shout
Yeah.
out to Jonathan, whose cat is also Charlie.
Jonathan says, quarantine when you have a dog and they will hate you. Quarantine when you have a cat and they will love you.
Mhm.
Wait, don't cats like it more when you're gone?
No.
Dogs
depends on
hate
the
it when you're
cat.
gone.
Depends on the cat. It really does. Because my cat
depends on
hates
the
the
cat.
world.
Jonathan, that's a faulty statement.
My cat gets sad when we leave. Like he wants
Okay.
us to be there.
So your cat's selfish.
No, he just loves people.
Characteristics of a dog, I hear.
Yeah.
I have both a dog and a cat, so I'm just messing with you.
Now, Izzy, as you know, it's our Thanksgiving special. Now, there are a lot of people who enjoy today's amenities, you know, technology,
Toilets.
toilets, cars, cats,
Dogs.
all that stuff. If you had the option to go back in time and maybe like ride the Mayflower and come over to the new world, would you do it? Would you be willing to sacrifice today's luxuries to be part of the group that discovered America?
No.
This isn't a
absolutely
fair
not.
question because I wouldn't be on the Mayflower.
Right, I'm asking Izzy because you were already here.
No, I would not. And that's mostly because a lot of people died. I would not want to die. Also, this is shortly before, you know, like witches were a thing, so I wouldn't really want to be like a girl at this point in time. I just think overall it sounds pretty awful. It's cool in hindsight knowing what they did, but I can't imagine in the moment either they thought that they were discovering this huge continent because they didn't know any of that yet. Sure there was a little bit of excitement, but no. Long story short, absolutely not.
Interesting.
Would not.
I'm not even gonna ask you. You're like, what do you think? But then I was like, that's a different perspective. Interesting. Well, anything else you want to talk about, Izzy?
You know, the only thing that kind of has been lingering in the back of my mind is, Izzy, you are in a praise band.
Oh yeah.
I've been told.
Yes.
Yes. Care to describe?
Yes,
That?
explain the praise band. Like, tell us about it.
What's it called?
What's it called? Who came up with the name?
Who takes the helm?
Who took the helm? Performances, or like when we play. I mean, when you play.
Yes, I am in a praise band. And there is one member of the band who so thoughtfully thought of the name Ionia, which is pretty cool.
What does that mean?
Pretty cool name. Why don't you tell us? You're the one who came up with it, Skylar.
Oh,
It's Skylar.
it's me. It basically means like everlasting, forever. Is a Greek word that I came across the one day, and I just thought it was a good fit for a praise band name. So
Because we'll never stop playing.
we just go on and on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we. I'm in it too. Sorry.
Yeah, Jake is too. And to answer all the questions you asked previously, the answer to all of them is Skylar. So
Yes, but Jack also is an important member of the band,
He
Yeah.
is the band. He makes or breaks it, really.
as well as Phil the Thrill,
we can't forget
who, if you haven't yet, I recommend you follow his fantasy football Instagram page for insightful information on upcoming games and who you should start instead.
And listen to his music on Spotify.
Yes, he's got a great song called "Time to Go," and it's really good if you like country, kind of chill music. He's the guy for you.
Really bad if you hate country.
It's also really, it's good either way. But if you don't like country, you'll probably not like it. So.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Izzy, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and being part of the Sports Desk family for an episode and for joining us on our season finale.
Yeah, it absolutely means the world to have you here.
It really does.
And we absolutely love having you around. So thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we want to thank all of you for tuning in this season, being part of something that was kind of unexpected. We intend fully to be back in the winter / spring / February, back and better than ever, which, again, the key was setting the bar super low now so that anything different is an improvement next semester.
Sounds like a great plan, Jacob.
And with that, we'll end.
Alrighty.
Take it away, Skylar.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Sports Desk.
Sports Desk, baby. Have a good night, everyone.